gotta do is hit him and then run. That's what I'm having to run.
People kept asking me, "Are you coming back? When are you coming back?" And I told them, I know when it's ready. I know when I'm ready to come back. And I knew one day that I wake up and I decide to come back. And if it didn't happen, then I wouldn't come back to boxing.
Errol Spence Jr. continues to sharpen his skills in training camp, with Terence Crawford offering advice, insight, and support as Spence intensifies his preparation for the highly anticipated showdown with Tszyu.
He was reacting there, like you said. He everything. Yes. That's why I gave so many guys I know.
Errol Spence Jr. has been following his training team's guidance closely, putting in hard work throughout camp while displaying impressive speed, improved timing, and unwavering focus as he prepares for his upcoming fight. As Terence Crawford posted on X, "Errol Spence Jr., good seeing you back out there. Get to it. I'll be there supporting," showing strong encouragement and backing for his longtime rival as Spence continues his return to the ring. Meanwhile, Spence has been displaying powerful and active work on the heavy bag, combining strength, consistency, and endurance throughout training camp while building momentum, confidence, and sharpness ahead of his upcoming fight. In a recent interview, Errol Spence Jr. expressed strong confidence in himself, saying he feels great in training camp and remains fully committed to improving every aspect of his game through hard work, intense gym sessions, and dedicated preparation ahead of his next fight.
It was just me waking up and deciding to come back. You get reserved, thoughts about, questioning yourself, do you want to come back? Or do you? But that day was more like, yeah, I want to come back. It was 100%. So that's why I went with.
Why?
It's great. I like it. I'm learning in the gym. It's 24/7. Like I'm just learning something. I feel like my brain is working too. Not only just going through the motions and just working on stuff that I've been working on for 10 years, 15 years, is learning new stuff. And I feel like a kid again in school, just learning new tricks.
Tszyu confidently stated that taking on him without first having a tune-up fight could be a tough assignment for Errol Spence Jr., suggesting the timing of the matchup may create an especially difficult test for the former champion.
Do you think Errol made a mistake by picking you in his comeback fight?
Yeah, it's definitely not recommended, to go straight into the firing line. It would have been better to start off slowly, but, on his caliber, he feels like he doesn't need tune-ups, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's going to be fireworks from the opening bell.
Errol Spence Jr. insists he does not need a tune-up fight, explaining that he feels strong, prepared and confident following a productive training camp filled with hard work, quality preparation, and consistent progress.
I feel like I don't need a tune-up because, I mean, the proof is in the pudding when you're in the gym. You know how you gonna fight once you're in the gym, and when you train and when you sparring and working out and stuff, you know how you feel. So if I feel good in the training camp and I feel good in sparring, I'm gonna feel good in the fight. You know, I'm mentally ready, physically ready. I feel like me and Ronnie Shields have a great game plan. Ronnie Shields been through this numerous of times. So, I mean, we'll be 100% ready for anything that, you know, he could bring to the table.
Errol Spence Jr. is seen training in Philadelphia, fine-tuning his skills and maintaining a strong focus as he prepares intensely for his highly anticipated showdown with Tszyu.
Telling you is this, girl. You can listen to me or not. I remember we had a chance to buy up the metropolis, the Dallas metropolis, when you was on top of the world. You said, call me. I called you. Nothing happened. But that's besides the point. I know you got a lot of money. I know you got your farm, what they call it? You probably got the zoo by now, right? But here's the reality of this thing. If you fight Tszyu for $2 to $3 million, listen to what I'm saying. This is what Vegas is telling me. If you fight Tszyu and have to go to Australia, you've destroyed your brand. Literally destroyed your brand. Why do you destroy your brand? Because they need to come to Dallas to fight you so you get all the money. Do you understand? You got to rebuild yourself. You don't go chasing dollars when you can spend the next 3 or 4 years building your brand.
Andre Rozier made an emotional appeal, urging Errol Spence Jr. to seriously consider walking away from boxing and prioritizing his long-term health and well-being.
Time for him to let boxing go. That's my opinion. I don't want to see him get in the ring and at a higher weight, and it's been so long, and the ring rust and the accident, the injuries. I think he should stay on his ranch, enjoy what he has gotten, be a cowboy cattleman, and call it.
He expressed serious concern about Spence's long-term health, future quality of life, and the dangers that come with continuing in such a physically demanding sport after years of grueling competition and accumulated wear and tear.
I'm just saying from the perspective of an individual, an athlete that has gone through so many trials and tribulations, I think at this point in time, it's not going to help him. If he wants to get a win and then call it a day, I can co-sign to that. But for him to think he's going to relaunch his career, especially at 54, I think that's not a good idea.
On the Porterway podcast, Sean Porter, Anthony Bradley, and Sean Zittel provide an insightful breakdown of the upcoming showdown between Errol Spence Jr. and Tszyu. Porter highlights Spence's ability to vary his offense, mixing lighter punches with sharp body shots and powerful hooks to keep opponents guessing. He notes that while Terence Crawford made Spence look ineffective in their previous fight, Tszyu has appeared sharp, active, and confident in his recent performances. Even so, Porter believes Spence's natural size and physical presence at 154 pounds could become a significant factor in the matchup.
Curious about in the Spence fight, from what I've seen from each of their last fights, Spence 3 years ago against Terence and against Terence Crawford, he'll make you not look good. He'll make you not quite look like what you are. But I still think Tszyu is a little sharper punch for punch. The sharp punches he would put together off his combinations, they still look sharper than Errol. But the interesting thing is, Errol Spence, I think, is bigger than him. Even though he's never officially fought at 154, I think Errol's a bigger man than him once he gets up to 54. And the main problem for Tszyu against Errol is going to be that jab. What does he do against that busy, constant jab
Errol
from on Errol's side?
Right?
Yeah, Errol just keeping that jab in his face. Yeah. I mean, when Bomac prepared for Terence, he said that's the number one thing we got to take away from him. He fights off his jab. He gets confidence off his. He builds off his jab. He dominates you off the jab. So take the jab away, and we got the fight won.
Right.
Tszyu is not Terence Crawford, so I don't know how he deals with it.
A major point of discussion is Spence's jab, which Porter describes as a key weapon behind much of his success. He questions how Tszyu will deal with that steady pressure and constant activity, especially considering Terence Crawford was able to neutralize it so effectively. At the same time, Tszyu's balance, fundamentals, and composure continue to stand out, making him a dangerous challenge for any opponent. Trainer Robert Garcia also raised concerns about Spence's lengthy inactivity, suggesting there are legitimate questions about how much he has left at the elite level. Meanwhile, Spence's decision to work with a new trainer adds another layer of uncertainty heading into the fight. Overall, the discussion highlights the intrigue surrounding the matchup, with both fighters bringing significant strengths, while several unanswered questions continue to shape expectations for the showdown.
Errol won't have anything left by the time they do make that fight. And I still saw from Tszyu, he looks sharper to me. And he's been more active.
Did you say Robert Garcia said that?
Yeah, that he doesn't think that Errol's gonna have anything left.
Did he expound on what he meant by that?
Just he hasn't fought in 3 years. He didn't look good in that fight against Terence Crawford. Even when I go back and again, it's Terence Crawford, but he got off balance a lot. And Tszyu still has a good, solid foundation to his legs. When he punches, he doesn't get off balance with his shots.
Does the weight and the new trainer does that factor in at all?
For Errol?
Yeah.
With what is he with Ronnie Shields now, maybe?
And he's 54.
I think the weight's gonna be good for him. I think he's gonna be the bigger man. But
And he with a different trainer.
So what do you think, Rob?
I just think we don't have enough evidence to really,
go off of, right?
Yeah.
Greg Hackett offers a thoughtful perspective on the upcoming clash between Errol Spence Jr. and Tszyu, describing it as a closely matched and highly compelling fight. He believes both fighters have been through significant challenges in their careers, with Spence overcoming setbacks such as injuries and his loss to Terence Crawford. Hackett also suggests that Spence's time away from the ring may have benefited him both physically and mentally, allowing him the opportunity to recover and reset. He particularly praises Spence's mindset, pointing to his focused and determined approach as a sign that he is returning with renewed purpose and a strong desire to prove himself once again.
Spence is coming back against Tszyu. How you feeling about that?
I think it's a perfect matchup. Perfect matchup because both of them have been through the fair share of, wars and things like that. Errol Spence with the accidents, Errol Spence with the Crawford fight. But I feel like he took enough time off where he can get healthy and get in his bag. You know what I mean? And I think before anything, attitude matters. The mindset, the attitude and mindset that he's in right now, I love it. I love that mindset.
It's been almost 3 years. As a trainer, as a fighter, what are you expecting?
Honestly, I don't know what to expect as far as his eyes.
However, Hackett admits uncertainty about Spence's sharpness since he has not seen him spar recently. He also highlights the mental side of the matchup, pointing to Spence's intense demeanor toward Tszyu as a sign he fully understands the challenge ahead. While Tszyu may see the fight as a major opportunity, Hackett notes that both fighters have shown vulnerabilities in previous bouts. With Spence now training under Ronnie Shields instead of Derek James, he expects subtle tactical adjustments, including more movement and a disciplined jab. Ultimately, Hackett believes success will come down to ring IQ, timing, and which fighter executes the better game plan.
Trying to pump gas, that's all. Errol Spence knows exactly what it is. He knows exactly what it is. I'm just glad he took a little break afterwards. He needed the break.
He's not with Derek James no more. He's with Ronnie Shields.
Yeah.
And as a trainer, what would you be trying to add? What would be your focus, your goal heading into that fight?
Same mentality, but I think I think we're gonna see Earl work behind his jab a little bit more movement. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna see Earl working, but more movement. Not movement like a boxer, but just he's still being a predator. But he's just making sure he moves side to side, or move his head, or take a step back with his hands up. Just to give you the space enough for you to do what you gotta do, but not do any damage to him and then him enough space for him to be able to get right back.
Sean Porter believes the fire still burns within Errol Spence Jr. as he prepares for a dangerous showdown with Tszyu. Porter highlights Spence's fearless mentality, pointing to his willingness to fight on hostile turf and his experience competing internationally as both an amateur and a professional. He views this comeback as a reflection of Spence's character, rejecting concerns about ring rust or the need for a tune-up fight and instead embracing a high-risk challenge right away. Despite a lengthy layoff and his loss to Terence Crawford, Porter sees a highly motivated fighter eager to prove himself once again.
Errol Spence Jr. coming back after a 3-year layoff. What's the thought process on that?
Coming back in Errol Spence form. Who else is coming back against someone who was just elite? We know that he's, Tszyu is taking his steps back, after the terror that he had in 23, 24, going into 2025. He was on a literal terror. But Errol Spence going overseas, going under the equator, they're down under, hostile territory, and the list goes on. And as you heard what Errol said, I've done this as a pro, Sheffield, England. I did this as an amateur, Russia and Azerbaijan, a couple other countries, and my dad actually was in those countries with him.
I was about to say, your dad was with him.
Porter also notes that Tszyu is coming off several tough fights and remains a dangerous opponent, particularly because of his ability to hurt fighters who stand and trade with him. However, he believes Spence's mindset and experience will make this a risky fight for both men. Porter even predicts the matchup will end before the final bell, suggesting that the power, intensity, and pride of both fighters could produce a dramatic stoppage rather than a decision.
I think that, we heard him saying he might wake up one day and want to come back. I imagine that before this fight actually was made, he had woken up a lot of days and wanted to come back, and it just took some time for this thing to play out, right? But it's got his fingerprint on it, his fingerprint being, like he said, I don't believe in ring rust, nor did I. He says, I don't believe in tune-up fights, nor did I. You know what I mean? Like, he's saying all the things that he's always said and done his entire career. So in 2025, after a three-year layoff, it'll be when they fight, and we know what that last fight was like, and the amount of embarrassment I'm sure he took, and the list kind of goes on from there in terms of the criticisms and stuff like that. For him to come back now and it's this guy over there and all that kind of stuff,
Bernie the Boxer shared his thoughts on the matchup between Errol Spence Jr. and Tszyu, describing it as a meaningful and legitimate fight rather than a simple tune-up. He stressed that although Spence has spent a long time out of the ring, the contest still holds real competitive value because Tszyu has remained active and established himself as a former world champion. Bernie praised Spence for making his return, noting that after nearly 3 years away, success is about more than physical conditioning. It also involves personal growth and life experiences outside the sport. In Bernie's view, Spence has carried years of pressure, expectations, negotiations, and career demands since turning professional, and that kind of mental and physical burden can affect any fighter. Even so, he believes Spence looks healthy, focused, and mentally refreshed, giving him confidence that the former champion can perform at a high level when he steps back into the ring.
Spence and Tszyu.
Yeah,
Oh, tell me, what do you think about it?
a good fight. It ain't a tune-up, but it's, you know what I'm saying? It's a good little fight for him. Man been out 3 years. Tszyu been active, former world champion. He ain't going to get nobody we don't know. I can't do nothing but salute and take my hat off for him and see how he go to work. I think he gonna be fine. He looked like he's in good shape. He ain't look all out of shape. He looked like, he looked good. He looked mentally all there. And I mean, shit, them little 3 years, like I said, I told him as soon as it happened, I said, okay, he had other stuff going on. Other stuff going on. That was a 5-year accumulation. A lot of stuff he did going through the rigmaroles with Bud, trying to figure out if they was gonna fight and building up his reputation and all this stuff.
He also touched on the psychological side of the matchup, explaining that much of the pre-fight talk and intensity, including comments about retiring an opponent, are often part of the mental games fighters play before a big event. According to Bernie, these statements are usually designed to build confidence and generate attention rather than being taken personally. He emphasized that both men are professionals, and trash talk has always been a part of boxing competition. Regarding the weight, Bernie noted that a catch weight around 158 pounds could slightly benefit a returning fighter like Spence because it provides more flexibility than a strict junior middleweight limit. He added that Tszyu has already competed around that range, making the matchup feel more natural for both fighters.
That was a lot, so 3 years off, he come in contact with life too. He come in contact with life too. It ain't just about us and what we want to do and what we want to see. He got a life. He in there, so he did right, and I'm glad to see him come back.
Did you see there's like a viral clip of him, Tszyu trying to shake his hand, and he's like, nah, I'm not shaking your hand. I've been hearing you talking about you're gonna retire me and all that. Did you see the clip?
No, I didn't see that. When they was in the hallway?
Yeah.
Don't pull it up, Neil. It's good. They was in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what Tszyu supposed to say. So I don't understand why everybody getting upset by stuff they supposed to say.
That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any future boxing news, analysis, and updates.